Welcome to our weekly podcast. We're the weekly review guys. Today we're going to be starting a weekly podcast where we review season 2 of the Purge. I'm your host, Salva, and joining me is my co-host, Sergio. Season 2 of the Purge, which you can catch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the USA Network. Sergio, what are your thoughts on season 2 compared to season 1?
More action and better, interest in, seeing the characters instead of just boring,
Yeah, I thought season 1 took forever to kind of introduce everybody.
They kind of rushed everything at last.
At the end, yeah, it felt rushed. At the end, that they finally developed. I would say the first 4 episodes of season 1 were very boring. This one had more action. We got a glimpse into all the characters, or what seems to be the main characters that are going to be playing along of season 2. What were the first characters that we saw?
Esme
And her co-worker Vivian. And Esme works for an NFFA surveillance center.
Yeah.
And what they do is they pretty much monitor and make sure that people don't break the little laws that are
the rules that they have in
the rules that are in effect during the Purge, which means that you can't use weapons of a certain classification and that you don't touch officials of ranking 10, like the presidents and I believe senators, etc., etc. So what they do is they pretty much have cameras all over the place, and they make sure that if a crime is committed, they tag it. And interestingly enough, I think we get an answer to some of the biggest things, or one of the biggest thing that was this criticized of the Purge is what happens if you commit a crime a minute after the alarms sound. Now we know that they're actually monitoring and making sure via the cameras and microphones that apparently are all over the place, making sure that if you do commit a crime after the sirens have gone off, they're watching and they will do something to you. That seems really bad. We don't know yet what's going to happen because, interestingly enough, one of our set of characters ends up committing, I believe, one of the crimes after the alarms. So what happened? It was bank robbers, right?
Yeah. They included Ryan, Sarah, and Tommy. Tommy was the
Tommy's the asshole, rebel, edgy
Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And they were robbing a bank.
Yeah.
And then they run into an issues because we run into what?
The Jackals.
Jackals?
Yeah.
And what are the Jackals?
Basically, it's people who steal from other people who are robbing the police.
Okay, and then of course they get into an altercation.
Where the Jackals, they're asking for the money to handle it.
Yeah, and the watchout guy who was in a van for the initial group of robbers.
They have him at gunpoint.
Yeah, they have him at gunpoint, so they're pretty much forced to give them a bag of money. Well, they want all the money. But they end up giving them a bag of money which has an explosive, right? Or some sort of device that...
A flash.
Right, something that takes them down. And then they leave that bag behind. But the Purge is about to end. There's literally 10 seconds. So they all run out of the bank so that they're not caught inside the bank. But this edgy Tommy guy wants to go back and get that last bag. And there's 3 seconds left. So he goes in, grabs it, and the question is, did he make it out or not? We go back to Esme's surveillance centers because they happen to catch that crime or that situation taking place. Did he make it out?
No, they checked. They were watching it. Even when he was trying to go back in, they were gonna time it. Basically, if he made it out before the sirens came out.
Yep, and they were listening to the audio, making sure that that he made it on the top. And I guess one of the guys pointed out that his foot was still inside the bank, which technically he was committing a crime.
He was on property.
Yeah, so they initiated a protocol that they were going to do something to him. We don't know yet.
It's a felony.
We're gonna find out in episode 2 what exactly happens to Tommy. But there you go. You get an answer to one of the most common and criticized things. What happens if you commit a crime after the sirens go off?
No, but what's interesting is that when he came out, Ryan already knew, which is the leader of the group.
Mm-hmm.
He already knew that they were going to be watching. They were watching the whole time.
Yeah, of course. It sounds like he has experience, though. It sounds like this is not his first rodeo. They've probably done this before.
But he says that they have rules.
Right. Well, they must have, internal set of guidelines that they follow when they're robbing. I don't think they're bad people. They're just out there to get money. You know, I don't think they're purging or anything like that. But anyways, what other characters we're introduced? We also have a couple, which I think is going to be the boring side of this season. What's up with the couple?
Marcus and Michelle.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is that they're sleeping. Purge is about to end. Everything's back.
But the guy seems to be like really nervous.
He's off a little bit. Like
yeah, it's like 5 a.m. and he's like not able to sleep.
Maybe he thinks that something's up outside.
Yeah, well, something is up because somebody breaks into their house, which again leads to me concluding that the surveillance systems that you have suck. Like, don't waste your money.
I know the surveillance systems never work in these Purge movies. There's always
as we saw that in the first Purge movie, they could easily break in.
I mean, it's like, what's the point?
I know, it's just a waste of your money. So anyways, they break in to his house, and he runs out so that the guy who's trying to purge or kill him follows him and leaves Michelle alone. They turn the security system back on, and then boom, there's a sniper killing anybody that moves or anything that moves outside. And then Marcus is able to blow the horn on a crash car.
He sneaks into a car top.
Right, he makes noise, and then the snipers see the guy that's trying to kill him move, and then they just shoot him. Yep, and then after the other sirens go off, he and Michelle go out and discover that the body's gone, so it seems like he wasn't dead. But he left what?
His phone. Basically, what was in the phone was that the guy was only going after Marcus.
Right.
He didn't care about Michelle.
Which was a stupid scene right there. I'm just going to mark out. It was stupid because no phone, whether it's an Android device, whether it's an Apple device, you press it and then the pictures come out. Like, right. First of all phones, everybody, I don't care if you're a criminal, if you're a nobody, you have a password or something protecting your phone. It's impossible. They just press the button on the damn phone and the pictures are there.
But technology is not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be like...
It's supposed to be realistic. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be realistic. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. So you're saying, no, they fucked up there. They fucked up there. So producers, if you're listening to this, you fucked up there. Fix it in season 3 if there is going to be season 3. Don't fuck it up like that. So anyways, he sees pictures that the guy was stalking him. They see Marcus at Burger King. They see Marcus doing some exercising. They see Marcus doing many things. So it seems like at some point he pissed this guy off.
Basically, no. I think he was a coworker, maybe. That's my guess.
But did you see his hand? It was like burned, and it had like some type of scar. If I remember correctly, it was like an X. Maybe
they have like something in common. Maybe they were both like in a particular place at a particular time, like in the military.
Could be. And then we forgot a set of characters, which I know I said Marcus and Michelle were going to be the boring side of the characters.
Ben and Turner.
We have the stupid side of the characters, the comical, the typical teenagers who make stupid mistakes in a horror movie. In this case, are serious. It's what are their names?
Ben and Turner.
Ben and Turner. They're so irrelevant that I don't even remember their names. Ben and Turner. So what happens to them?
Basically, they came out of a party. Ben wants to go home. He wants to like forget everything. He wants to just
Well, they're like in a scavenger hunt or something. They have to go to places and.
Turner wanted to go to a suicide bridge where they were going to take a picture to show that they were there.
Right, but it was part of a scavenger hunt, wasn't it?
I think so, yes.
And anyways, so
basically they run into this guy who's well, there's this, it's not a guy, but it's a woman who's crying out for help. Basically asking for help.
And right here we see a familiar face, right?
Like Purge God mask. The one
that says God, which we saw in which movie?
Purge Anarchy.
Okay, and then what happens with the stupid teenager?
Basically, Ben, he tries to, try to help the woman, but then he gets into a trap, which then leads Turner outside, and
his friend abandons him there. What an asshole!
Yeah, he abandons him, and then basically Ben's left hopeless. The guy's about to kill the guy with the Purge God mask. He's about to kill the lady who's crying out for hope initially, and then it just plays out. Ben's terrified. He's scared.
Do you think he's gonna purge on his friend the following year because he left him there?
Well, maybe that's kind of gonna. I think that's gonna piss him off at a certain point, where he's gonna be like, "You left me there."
Well, now he's gonna be marked for life, I think, because he probably has never killed anybody until that night when he killed
Where he had to defend himself.
Yeah, but he just went all at it, stabbing him multiple times. At that point, it's like he had a nervous break. He just cracked, and he's like stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. So I think he's going to definitely be a different person. Yeah, and then going back to our character Esme, the lady that works at the surveillance centers, when she was monitoring, the monitors, she sees a familiar face as well. She sees a friend that helped her in the past being chased by somebody who's asking for files or a file. Do you think that Esme is going to act differently next year?
Maybe yes, because she's definitely gonna try and investigate. As she she downloaded the file of the sound being, in the video that when she played.
You think she's gonna be like, oh, I want the day off next purge because I have stuff to do. Well, she has a whole year to do her research.
Yeah, she downloaded the file trying to figure out why they killed.
I think she's gonna purge the following year
on the people that
killed her friend.
Maybe.
But I don't know. She seems like she's very pro NFFA, very proud of
what she does.
Yeah, well, she's proud of working for the NFFA. Doesn't mean, for example, you can work for the government. Doesn't mean that you're proud of working for that government. In this case, she seems like she's proud of working for the NFFA. But in any event, what is the next episode going to be called?
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. So it seems like we're going to see a glimpse of what happens after the purge. People just go back to normal and liking each other. You tried to kill me during purge, but you didn't. So
no, I think the next episode is basically it's gonna show what happens, what do people do after purge and after it all ends. Are they still pissed at each other?
I would be pissed. Wouldn't you be pissed?
Yeah.
What if your coworker tried to kill you during purge and then you have to show up to work the next day and be like, Hey Matt, you tried to kill everybody. Oh, by the way, can you share that spreadsheet with me? We need to get some numbers together.
What?
That's gonna be awkward.
That's awkward. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I think this season they're gonna show what happens. They're gonna be.
So it seems like they don't have enough build up for the next purge throughout the whole year. How the characters are affected, which I guess is a new perspective because we never see that in any other movies.
Yeah, because in the other purge,
it's always been the night of the purge.
Yeah, right? It's the day before
from different points. So that should be interesting. Hopefully, it won't get boring though, because usually the action takes place
on purge.
Now that it's not going to be purge for an episode, it might get boring. I don't know. I'm afraid that that's going to happen in episode 2.
Well, maybe.
That it's going to get boring.
Well, what I think is going to happen is that Marcus, he's going to try and find out.
I think everybody's going to try to find out. Marcus and Esme are going to start doing their research on who killed her friend and Marcus on who tried to kill me. The teenagers, I don't know. They're probably just hopefully disappear and go away. It was like a one-time episode.
That Ben guy, I think he's scarred because of that.
Oh yeah. Well, he almost got raped and murdered, so it was that's challenging right there.
That was awkward.
And then the bank robbers, of course, we're going to find out what happens to Tommy, who got caught. We're going to find out whether he made it out or not.
What are the consequences of doing something?
You think he made it out, or because remember they're like, we'll see each other later, and then the guy's
no, some guy noticed that his foot was still on.
Yeah, but he could still escape. He could be out there running away from the law.
Not necessarily. They're gonna catch him.
You think so? Then you think the NFFA is just on top of things?
No, that's when she spotted it and she reported it immediately.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens in episode 2 of season 2 of The Purge. Again, we want to remind you guys that we upload our podcast every Friday night. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button. And stay tuned to our Twitter feed. You can follow us at twitter.com/WReview, guys. And follow us there. We're going to be posting reviews not only to The Purge, but any other movies that we feel, deserve a review, and other series that might be streaming out there in whatever platform you guys may use. So we'll see you next time.